Good afternoon or evening, depending on your location, everyone. We're going to begin Red Kiki's round review number 3 with a special topic that I think everybody wants to talk about, or at least hear something about, um, and that's going to be on chat. We're going to talk about chat. And I am not going to lie, I am not the most qualified to speak on chat because I am bad at it. So, we have a special guest joining us today to help pick his brain, the master of diplomacy himself, the great Renaud, or Renaud if you're the silly American. Hi, Renaud. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, I forgot to change the name on the page. I'm so bad. Um, but we're just going to get into this anyway. Cool. So Reno and I are just going to go through some of these games here and stop when we see interesting chat and talk about it and go from there. I'll probably just touch briefly, give you a brief summary on the games and not too much analysis this week, because I really want to focus on this because I think it's a topic that everybody would be interested in. So, jumping in here, we're going to start with the F9, the 2-hour 40-minute game with Renault himself. I'm going to do no fog of war with player vision so that we don't get all the obs chats confuse us here. Um, So yeah, this game was long. It was sort of a stalemate towards the end, and that's why it ended up being long. But we had we had some very experienced players, so most of the chat's pretty tame to start off. So here we go. So Reno's the first person, I think the first person to ask about the sorry, turn that off. Reno's the first person to ask about clockwise versus counterclockwise. So typically on a map that is 4 spawning locations, there will be one natural next to each base, and it could be you could expand in either direction. So asking whether or not you're going to expand counterclockwise or clockwise has you know will lead to less early confrontations that are going to interfere with your creeping, interfere with your early gold crewment. Um, because really in free for all, fighting before the 10-minute mark, unless you're definitely going to kill someone, only hurts both of you and lets your opponents get further ahead. You want to get your tech up, you want to get your gold up, and you want to get your expansions running. So asking, so the chat there. I mean, anything more to add outside of finding out who's not going to be, expo blocking you? Anything to add, Reno?
Nope.
Fair enough. So we see. So let's keep going here. Everybody, FD's like, I want to go counter because he already built an Ancient of War over here, um, which ends up being kind of funny in this case because everybody's like, oh, we're going clockwise, and he's like, wait, no, wanted to go counter. And then we get some early aggression, which is always very interesting. Ugri wants clock. Very, very. Fire Dragon wants counter. He creeps his thing. Let's get some more interesting chat. There's got to be some. Yeah, there's a lot of discussion going on around this whole expo thing here right now. Um, but it's
Summoning
sort
is
of
complete.
it gets interesting here once Maga comes over and is like, well, I have no expo unless I kill you. So, and then in the meantime, this very aggressive no barracks tech that you pulled, um, and double expo proves to put Fire Dragon in a rough spot once he gets pushed here by Maga.
Summoning is
Right, I think
Sounds a little
MAGA
loud.
wanted to say, I'm gonna kill you until I get that expo, but I don't actually want to go to war with you yet.
Yeah, yeah. So here's some perfect. Great chat to talk about. He says, leave the expo or we're at war. So to me, this looks like an assertive, sort of aggressive way of saying, I don't want to fight you, but if you don't do what I want, it's like I need this expansion. Um, so yeah, exactly sort of what you were saying. This piece of chat is intended to get him what he wants because he needs it that bad, while also not necessarily fighting this early, because Magadansky knows just as well as any other free-for-all player that fighting at the 7-minute mark isn't necessarily what you want. Um, so let's see. There's some more here. There's some more that comes up right here. For So Fire Dragon uses just states Red's taking the other because you've got the two expansions. This chat I think is intended to let's go through my questionnaire here. It says, what does he want to accomplish with the chat? Red's taking the other. I mean, it seems relatively straightforward, but what does he want? What is his goal of telling people that?
Probably wants to tell him that someone else went counterclockwise so that his other side is probably empty, to relieve some pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he just wants people to team me because I probably have two expo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that those are the two logical conclusions. So then let's see. So then let's go to step two. Does it work? And let's see if it complications. So Magus just continuing to go fight him. I'm not, I'm taking this, uproot the tree. He doesn't want to fight him if he doesn't have to. But then Ugri comes in and starts taking down your expansion. So we can probably sit on the yes, it did work chat. Um, he wanted somebody to make it so that he could get an expansion, short version, and it worked because Ugri came in and knocked your second expansion out, which was in his best favor, which was in his best interest as well because he doesn't want you to have two inside expansions, get too far ahead while Fire Dragon may or may not be getting tomed by Maga for all he knows. So, good chat from Fire Dragon there. It accomplished exactly what he needed. He got a little behind here because he wouldn't move this tree, but he really wanted to fight Maga. But Maga has the sick micros. Ugri uses the chat to say the other's free, so you can go take that, which he then does.
Right, and at the same time, you agree kind of told Fire Dragon, I'm your friend, I just helped you out,
Yes,
which
exactly.
will probably tell Fire Dragon not to attack Yuri until the end.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's interesting to point it out because saving somebody cross map um, is not necessarily a bad idea. I mean Ugri and Fire Dragon are probably not gonna be enemies one way or another since they're cross map, and Ugri has clearly defined that he would like to fight Renaud or Reno you in this game because he attacked your expansion and let it go back to Fire Dragon. So I like that move from Ugri, and the chat certainly helped make it happen.
Research complete.
Okay, Fire Dragon. Ugri, if you fuck with Renaud, then Maga win easily again. What does he want to happen through this chat? What is his goal of saying that?
I really don't know. I guess, well, he wants us to team MAGA, obviously, or
Correct.
at least to not kill each other completely until MAGA is weakened,
Mm-hmm.
because he probably doesn't feel comfortable going one on one against MAGA.
Probably. Um, yeah, I mean that's sort of a that's sort of a very anti-Magadansky, establishing him as the enemy type chat, and I think that we should go on and find out, does it work? Do
Our
people attack
warriors have
Magadansky?
engaged the enemy.
May have to put this on hold for a minute here while we see how some of these expansions and things go.
Your building
Can't
is
let you
complete.
have two.
Research finished.
Ugri's not letting you have two expansions.
The problem
Actually,
with saying something like that, though, is
Our sacred grove
yes,
is
he
being
wants to stop a
desecrated.
war with Yuri and I, but at the same time, he's telling MAGA that he wants a war with him and he wants
Exactly.
to team him from the start.
Exactly. And it makes it an early chat on guys, Maga's gonna win. He's ahead. Blah blah blah. Is going to entice Maga to attack him all the more. So at this point in time, Maga's basically 100% made up his mind. I'm gonna attack Fire Dragon because not only is he competing with me for an expo and my neighbor, and Ugri's not touching me, but he's chatting against me.
Right.
So it, probably work not in his favor. I mean, that chat probably would be detrimental more than anything if you look at it in a nutshell or in a vacuum, just because you've already been fighting Ugri. Like, you guys aren't going to stop just to come save him when there's still 4 players left, most likely. So, so that chat,
by the great
I don't
wind.
think we're going to see as being effective. I'm pretty sure they're just going to keep fighting while you
Your
and Reno
build
fight,
research finished.
and then Fire Dragon's going to just get cleaned
You
up.
love using wipes.
So,
But do
why
you
is
love the
that happening?
residue that gets left behind? Take the Lysol Power and Free Wipes
What's what
Challenge.
happening?
Lysol
I
Power
have,
and Free Wipes streak less than Clorox wipes and leave
What is
no
going on?
harsh residue.
Some,
the secret
like-
is the hydrogen peroxide formula.
What
It attacks
webpage do I
grease and
have
tough
open that
messes and
is-
kills 99.9% of germs. Powerful,
Hold on a
yet
second.
family friendly. That's what we
Okay.
call healthing.
Your building.
Take the Lysol Wipes Challenge. Click below to
Wow,
try them for
Skype has ads in the middle of it? Interesting. Sorry about that. Like some random web page that I had open. I thought it was a web page, but it was actually
Our
Skype.
warriors
was
have
doing,
engaged the enemy.
Started a random ad.
Research
Like, what's
finished.
that? Viewers don't need to listen to that. So yeah. So the chat against Magadansky is probably
Your
going to
building
be
is
not
research
a
finished.
not effective. We can deem it that. Because they eventually fight
Your building is complete.
after all. Fire Dragon
Right.
breaks, Magadansky breaks soon-ish.
Summoning.
Research
Fire
finished.
Dragon doesn't break, he just kills off his archers.
Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
Let's see, what new chat can we get to?
Research finished. Your building is complete.
Everyone's so silent. But yeah, you guys are fighting. Pretty much securing our discussion of the non-efficiency of the last one. Looks like you're fighting at 56 food. Oh, you're still pumping. I see.
Right.
You guys have pretty good gold, whereas Fire Dragon and Maga do not. Maga's already gone to 80. Fire
Research
Dragon as
finished.
well. They know they're gonna fight. So he says, "Here comes to Maga. This chat means what? You want someone to save him, maybe?"
Yeah, at least he wants someone to know he's getting attacked so that once he says, I'm dead, we are ready for
Right.
it.
Preparation for come save me. Sort of a preemptive chat there. Let's see if it works.
Your building.
The great outdoors.
It might also be to tell Maga, I know you're coming and I'm ready, so that
Yeah.
he might back off a bit.
Maybe. Seems like Maga's had already made up his mind now. I think it's less
Right.
likely. It's probably making you and Ugri aware. You cry dead. Interesting. So you could speak to the best of what was this chat trying to accomplish? You were saying, I'm dead.
Well, I was dead. So I wanted to get help somehow from anything at this point because I did not see myself surviving that attack. I doubted Maga or Fire Dragon would help me, but I was just desperate
Gotcha. Okay.
because I think I was broke at this point.
Let's see. You were at 1K with 54 food, and Ugri was fighting pretty well. He still had 5K. So.
Right.
Yep. Well,
I wasn't killing anything and everything was dying. I was just scared and depressed.
so we could say the chat means I don't want to die. Not dying is the goal of that chat. Let's see if it works. Well, first he TPs, and then let's see what happens. So the Fire Dragon and Maga are still fighting. Nobody's coming to save Fire Dragon. The Fire Dragon's not convincing him to go away. They're just sort of fighting. He has a good fight here. And he keeps yelling help. But yeah, I mean, Ugri, I can't remember if he comes back to you. Yeah, he does.
But Yuri did go to help Fire Dragon a bit.
Yeah. And so I'd say your chat, your dead chat as well, it was small but effective. You don't necessarily have to say a lot because you know, Ugri doesn't want to get teamed, and he doesn't want to be forced into a 1v1 against Maga. So you saying dead and Fire Dragon crying to all holy hell, in combination, worked to your advantage. You got left to finish mining up your island, and even though he didn't let you keep your natural here, he does eventually change his target.
Right. And although that's not what I wanted, he probably decided to let me live because if both Fire Dragon and I died at the same time, he was stuck in a one-on-one.
Yeah. And nobody wants
Which,
to 1v1 Magadansky.
right.
And this one's smudge free.
Oh my
Smudge
god.
free.
Where are these ads coming from?
Really?
And this one beeps when you leave the door open.
So weird.
On the good side, I'm not hearing them, so...
Oh, that's good. But you also don't have the stream on. You have the stream muted.
Oh, right. That explains a lot.
Let's see here. So you decide to take out Fire Dragon. Renaud would kill me. At this point, I don't think that this chat from Fire Dragon, Renaud would kill me, is anything other than just frustration. I don't think he has a goal there. Unless you can think of, I mean, maybe it's like a last ditch save me if you want me to stay in this game. But knowing that he's the first, it's looking like he's going to be the first player going out. So what does he try to accomplish with this chat?
I'm guessing you're right, and he's just trying to get everyone to think everyone's at it, hitting me at the same time, give me a break.
Yeah.
But it kind of, the previous chat worked against him because I thought he's dying, I need him out, so it's a three-way, and then
Right.
Ugri will leave me alone.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we had, going back to the chat where we were still waiting to find out if it was effective or not, where he was crying for MAGA, I mean, it ended up being a complete backfire. The chat was intended to make you guys hit MAGA to prevent him from being killed. However, what it ended up doing was showing you the third place in terms of strength right now. I'd say if we'd rank Ugri and MAGA ahead, then you're the next furthest behind, and then Fire Dragon is the weakest. It showed you that he was a tome after MAGA gets hit in his main, and nobody ended up saving him because he's the first out, and people rarely save the first out. So
Right.
completely backfired. TP's here, TP. You said your main was down. I love that. The main is the tree.
Well, I was expecting him to be like, you know, 50 food, dying, red units. Like, oh.
But he has a full army and he just is having trouble engaging.
And so at that point, I was just trying to say, you know, sorry.
Yeah. So you said Ugri taking your expo. Team Ugri, because I killed it. Interesting. What were you trying to accomplish with that chat?
Well, Fire Dragon would probably have complained that I just took his expo. So I just wanted to make it clear to everyone, I don't have it. Ugri has it. So team him, not me. Especially since I'm human and they wanted to team me just for that anyway.
Right. Yeah, the human effect is a scary one. So we have, so taking the attention off yourself, and I think it does end up being effective. We can check in on that in a second.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
Fire Dragon is continuing to chat, but with little effectiveness. Ugri fights Maga a little bit finally, so he sort of gets somewhat of what he wants. But
Your building is
looks like Ugri says, "K, Maga owning." Right after he lost 2 gargoyles and then TP'd, losing very little. I think he loses 1 or 2 more. That sounds like sort of backhanded chat. What do you think? Talk to me about that chat. Your opinion. What does he want to happen?
He probably wants to tell us I fought MAGA so that we think, okay, he spent some gold, he's helping the team. And that way, I mean, I feel like it's my turn. I have to do something because Ugri just tried and he failed.
Right.
So he's trying to make himself look weak, Maga look strong, changing, the target on Maga again.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, Ugri's heroes are good. He has way more gold than everybody else. So that chat is clever to try and show him is a clever way of trying to make himself appear weaker than he actually is. Uh, Unfortunately, it is not effective because Renaud says, "I'm going to attack this expo. I want you to show me my army." Because yeah, you were not fooled. So anyway, so that chat was clever from Ugri, but it ended up not working exactly the way he wanted to right away.
Right. In that case, well, since it's me, I know, but it was mostly because I wanted an excuse to kill that expo, and him calling me being 50 was the perfect time.
Right. Looks like you have a decent fight here.
Our gold mine is nearly empty.
And you're 80 here. Everybody's 80, I think. So Ugri uses a little gold, but he has an advantage in terms of gold.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
How is everybody heroes? I forget. Magas are sort of around the same ones. Same as Ugri.
Our gold mine.
You get stuck on 5. You get stuck on 5-3-3 for a while in this game, I remember. Without mass teleport.
Yeah. Which can be a good thing.
I would have stopped hitting Ugri, but he manipulated against me. That is an act of war. Okay, I like this chat. It sort of takes your chat was offensive, I'm going to hit you because of it so that you stop chatting me. Is that
Right.
what you intended?
That's exactly what it was.
Now, it's
It's
fun
just
because I think it's very interesting to talk about how chat can be, we talked about briefly how he, attempted to use the chat to accomplish one thing. It didn't exactly go. And now you are using the chat to try to convince him to stop trying to chat against you, which is interesting. And we'll see if that works. And he's trying to say, I wasn't manipulating. You said I was. Some slight difference in opinion of the chat there. But the intent is more or less the same. Fire Dragon is fighting Maga with a full army, but letting himself get kited. But
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
this chat is amusing.
right. Fire Dragon mostly trying to convince us that we have to kill Maga as soon as possible.
Our
Yep.
champion has
So it
fallen.
looks like Maga gets some good experience off of Fire Dragon here without losing too much.
Our hero has been killed.
And then you come in and decide to get your own experience. I did the famous bitch move. That's funny. So Magadansky says Renaud feeds on Fire Dragon, which of course you really aren't because he runs away. But Magadansky, what is he trying to accomplish with that chat?
Well, he's obviously gonna get teamed because he just killed someone and he has amazing hero level. But he wants to tell everyone, I did not get all the XP. Renaud got most of it, so that we don't team him.
Perfect. And we'll see if it's exactly what happens. Yeah, he killed a building before army, so that's correct chat. But you do get level 4 paladin off of it. But anyway, the chat here I think sort of helps feeds into the stalemate situation a little bit. We have some fighting, but everybody not sort of being sure who's the strongest, who's in the best position to win, lends itself to. I mean, we're sort of teaming Maga now, so Ugri's chat before. Sort of coming back here. But a lot of it is sort of logical decisions from here on out. I mean, there is a big period of time where everyone's not really willing to commit their golden food, but most of the chat now is just scrutinizing who has a slight advantage, making a decision, and acting on it.
Right. also a lot of suicide talk, because in this situation, you want to tell everyone, I don't care anymore. I will just kill you if you touch me,
Yeah,
so that they're reluctant to
Research complete.
attack you with a
freedoms.
big force. Right.
Absolutely. Because everybody here in this game, with the exception of Ugri, has less than 5k, um,
Our forces are
not
under
100
attack.
food. Yeah, so he's at 80 and has 5k. But basically, everybody has one army left if they don't lose at all. So they have like half an army left in terms of gold. So if somebody goes too strong on them, they're gonna get hit. They're gonna get hurt to the point where they really have a hard time catching up. So suicide talk is not necessarily a bad form of chat. Sometimes people get annoyed by it, but um, you know, it can work. Ugri, of course, is still mining. Then don't let me mine. Even if it was a bitch move, I'm proud. Ghoul versus Acolytes. So Magadansky says, I have no idea why we let Ugri get 5k for free. And Renaud says, because I'm in my last army. And he says, me too, and exactly this is why. So Magadansky wants us to go Ugri instead of him.
Right. And basically, we're both agreeing that we should kill the Expo, but we're both telling the other guy, you should do it
Yeah,
because
you
I
should
don't
do
want
it.
to start.
I don't want to. I don't want to start the war and be the one that Ugri suicides.
Right.
Um, Yeah. I don't know. How effective do you think the suicide chat is in a situation where you have three players that are known for playing for the win till the very bitter end, very rarely suiciding? I mean, you see it from you sometimes, Maga occasionally if he is in good position, but you know, I would expect all three of you to play for the win one way or another. So suicide chat um, is sort of like, you know, boy who cried wolf at some point when you know that they're going to play for the win anyway.
Right. It's mostly you could replace suicide by saying, I'll fight you and only you for a while,
Hmm.
and not till the end of the game. But we will mostly do that. We will forget the other guy and focus on someone just to teach him a lesson if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still trying to win, so it's not really a suicide.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, there's a difference between trying to hurt somebody and weaken their chances of winning because they, you know, because they did something that pissed you off or made you in a worse position, and throwing away the win to ensure that you both lose.
Right.
Fear tanks, da da da, gold agree. Who says
Our
the correct
forces are
thing?
under attack.
What more chat is there interesting to discuss?
Summoning is complete.
At this point, most of the chat is telling the other what unit he has, what level he has, just always trying to get to kill the other guy and
Yep.
not yourself.
Yep.
Typical three-way I don't want to die
Our
chat.
forces are under attack.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from here on, it's just sort of pointing out. So I'm not sure if there's any specific chat to be discussed from here on out. We can sort of just, you know,
Our good
everybody
ally has
knows everybody
collapsed.
knows what everybody wants in this situation, and we had sort of a long stalemate with, you know, a typical, you know, somebody gets ahead ending. So, I think we're gonna head on to the next game because we don't want to spend 20 minutes 8xing through the rest. But had some interesting discussion on different pieces of chat in that game. Some little bit Fire Dragon's chat backfired on him. A little bit of, you know, Ugri and your chats worked well, and some not. So let's go on to the next game. This is a game between J33, Who Guess, Persuade, and Lightweight. Lightweight known for having very strong chat. See how it goes in this game.
Right. And the interesting thing about Lightweight, his chat and personality change depending on his race. So you can
Interesting.
just learn him.
Interesting. Discuss. I'm interested by this.
Well, most is orc and human. His
Yes.
orc tends to be a lot more aggressive, and I will kill anyone and everything that touches me, if I remember correctly.
Uh-huh.
Then again, Swiss is human. Maybe people up.
Uh-huh. So they agree on an expansion direction pretty quickly here, which is fine. I'll stay 3x here just because I don't want to miss any chat.
Job's done.
It's pretty quiet so far. Persuade went Dark Ranger first, along with Pugas, and J33 went with his favorite Demon Hunter. I always find it interesting when people go clockwise on this map. The expansion's so much further from the main. Why wouldn't you take the one that's just a hop, skip, and a jump around the lake? But
I agree.
I don't know.
I always thought it was counterclockwise,
Yeah.
but I just said
Whatever.
clockwise because that's what everyone else does.
Yeah.
Not sure why.
Yeah, I mean, on Death Rows, it's like everything's exactly the same. But
Right.
for a map like this, where it's twisted meadows, exactly. So I just, whatever. But some pretty decent creeping. That's offensive burrows. What if I wanted to tower rush you? What? I love this chat. Lightweight says something that doesn't really... I'm not really sure what he's trying to get at. And then Persuade's like, what? It's too early for chat. Shut up. Which I find funny. I'm not sure if there's any particular meaning to it, but...
I think it was just being funny, although you might say it tells him that he's not ready for manip and just...
Yeah, it's undertone for don't manip me, maybe. You know,
Right.
don't try to chat me to death or I'll be frustrated.
Job's done.
You know, indicating to players what kind of chat, you know, indicating to all the players in the game that if you try to chat against me, I will become frustrated and potentially maybe suicide you, is a perfectly reasonable thing to say. So, you know, having a very anti-chat opinion might convince a player that relies heavily on manip to maybe shut his mouth a little bit more.
Right.
And Persuade's not the biggest fan of chat, from what I understand.
Job's done.
Uses it when he has to, but generally doesn't rely on it too much.
Our forces are under attack. Job's done.
Handles being teamed well, unlike a lot of players, including myself.
Yep. I
So I can
can't
just,
comment on that.
You can go ahead and tell me that I suck at chatting. I know it.
Search complete.
That's why we're doing this, so we can learn from the great Renaud. Renaud. Renaud.
Job's done.
Oh no.
Renaud. My French accent sucks. Sorry.
Our forces
They have some
are under
fighting
attack.
from Who Guess and Persuade. Persuade's like, oh, I'm gonna go ground army in this game. And then he realizes that ground armies suck versus Chippo.
Job's done.
Well, it's good if he only has hippos, but
Yeah. Once the
as
chimps
soon
come
as you
in.
adjust to chimps, it's kind of hard.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, this game's sort of tame. There's really not much chat going on right now. And I think if I recall correctly, somebody, Who Guess I think it is, discs, and then sort of the chat is
Job's done.
sort of moot. But I do recall there being a lot more chat in the three-way, so I'm gonna speed this up a little bit so we can get to it.
Job's done. Job's done.
Lightweight staying 50.
Job's done.
Persuades above. Who Guess as well.
Your building is
J33 at 50. Haha, I found that funny. Persuade, I watched this earlier, so I recall what he was talking about. Persuade comes over here to creep his island, and he goes, and he finds it empty. He goes, "Nice of you, Lightweight." He's like, "What?" He's like, "The creeps." And I'm like, he's like, "What are you talking about?" And it's funny because I think it was Who Guess. Yeah, it was Who Guess that yeah, it's 2 rock golems that came in here with a zeppelin, creeped in here, killed his camp, and then ran away. And Persuade thought it was lightweight. Sort of clever.
Right. So in this case, Persuade wanted to tell Lightweight, I know what you did and I hate you.
I know what you did.
But it
don't
was
pull that
actually
shit.
wrong.
But he was wrong. He's actually fighting the right person. And it's good of Lightweight not to get all pissy, and he stays at 50. He wants... Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. He breaks. But, you know, he doesn't go and attack Persuade over that simple chat. He knows that he's got a free tome in the Elf player, most likely, because most humans feel that way about Elf.
Yeah.
Your building is
But yeah, I mean, a human player is going to want to fight an Elf player a lot more than they're going to want to fight
research that our warriors have engaged the enemy.
an Orc. Of course, this
Definitely.
army is not especially easy for a human to kill without any Griffs, which Lightweight apparently doesn't believe in, but hey, whatever. But no, he does eventually triumph.
Our warriors have engaged.
The use of the Zeppelin here.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
Nice to
Research
see
your
an upper
building
there,
is
but
complete.
yep. I mean, so this is, you know, you see a lot of free for alls that start off this way. It's just, you know, two solid 1v1s. Here we go. Some nice chat from Lightweight we can discuss here. He says no chance. While he's at 80 food and has a full base with 4,500 gold to J33's 2,700, who is food blocked. So yeah, Lightweight is already starting early before J33 is dead, trying to play weaker, trying to play not as strong as he actually is. This chat, I mean, that's how I interpret it. Any other thoughts there?
He might have been getting ready for a "I'm dead" kind of talk because he was seeing that I only have anti-air and he's all ground, so that might not go well.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted attention on him. I might die soon. Please help. Although he doesn't end up needing it.
Right. Well, let's see if it ends up panning out for him here.
Our town is under
Fights the, is less peace. Persuade is owning pink. And then, no, he was raping, I got lucky. So we've got some back and forth here between Persuade and Lightweight on who's winning their respective fights. If we look at gold and food counts, Persuade is behind in gold, not even at a full 80 army. Who Guess is above 80, but also has basically no gold. So these two players are sort of running themselves dry pretty equally. Lightweight's at almost, you know, he's at 4,300 gold with 80 to J33's 90 with 2,700. A little bit more even, but probably slightly in Lightweight's favor. He's building his Griffin Aviaries because he wasn't expecting to fight Druids of the Claw. So anyway, they're sort of going back. J33. I'm 100, need to drop to 80. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players have a really hard time dropping themselves. They feel like they have to get something out of their army. So killing off 10 of his own food to go to 80 just was not an option for J33. He refused to do that and said, I'm going to fight Lightweight until he kills 10 food. Which may or may not have been intelligent. We'll find out. Suiciding them into towers. You got a paladin kill here, but...
Right, at the same time, he's sort of telling Lightweight, you know, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you, I want to kill my own food.
Yeah.
Which I think ends up being a lie, because he will keep on trying to kill Lightweight, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. We had two pieces of interesting chat that just came up. First, Lightweight, what the crap was it? Just happened. Anyway, Persuade was like, should we stop now? To Who Guess? Because he's running out of gold and just lost a really bad fight. And Who Guess is now probably in a stronger position, slightly. So, but they're both basically running dry on resources and army. So yeah, Persuade offers him a peace because he does not believe that Lightweight is having as difficult a time with J33 as he actually is. And he also probably just hates the human player that is the strongest in this batch. So, perfectly logical chat from Persuade there. And Who Guess replies with... It's like, You gonna stop? You gonna stop? He's like, are you kidding? I like that. Probably would have been my reply. He's been fucking losing the whole time and finally, you know, has a good fight. But, yeah, the bats come in. He's like, alright, I'll buckle. I'll make some air units. He sort of clings in here. Clings to life here. Kills the keeper. Sort of an oversight there. But yeah, he runs back all these chims. I would have probably sent just the red ones back, but now J33 says, peace now, because I'm 80. Lightweight, hundreds of pair of pure bears. Lamau.
Right, so G33 is probably trying to say, you know, I'm not going to hit you anymore, we can peace.
Yep.
Which probably won't work because Lightweight is pissed at this point.
Yeah. Lightweight, you know, if in J33's shoes, Lightweight offered him a chance to stop. He said, I'm not going to waste this 10 food, I'm going to get some more experience. And then Lightweight says, well, to hell with you, after he's, you know, used his 10 food. Forget what he does here, though. Did he come in and save? Yeah. He comes in to try to save Persuade, I think, or he just scouting around, maybe. Yeah, he saves a little bit. I think he sniped a hero. Yep, he saves the orc, and Persuade has a chance at clawing his way back into this fight. But he is still in a rough position. But they're both sort of broke. But yeah, Persuade has a bigger army at this point, and he has bats now, which everybody hates. So it looks like Lightweight and J33 are going to fight. Killing off some peasants. So, Hugas says, well, I'm pretty much dead. What is he trying to accomplish with this chat?
Probably wants to ask for peace soon. So, I'm pretty much dead. Let's have a peace. Or, I'm pretty much dead. Someone help me.
Right. And Persuade instantly and wisely responds with, we both are. So that nobody thinks that he's strong. So they're both playing weak. And, yeah.
They both are.
It seems fine. They are both weak. They're both saying the truth. We peace if you let me get my mind back. Will you backstab me? I'm not in a position to. So they agree on piecing. Because the other team is going. The other pair is going. Still going.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Right.
I lost way too much when J33 hit me. Had anti-air army. If you come with 100 supply ground, I got 522. After J33 says you lost pretty much nothing. So both pairs of fighters are just trying to convince the other two that they're not, that they're not in fact as, you know, they're just trying to play weak. Everybody's trying to play weak.
Our gold mine is running low.
And there's a lot of like counter chat going on right now. So Lightweight or J33 is winning. Lightweight low heroes but stacked. Can't see J33. 432 and not stacked. Cheap wall, you'll stack them when you mind everything I need to stack to survive your 100 push. Just a lot of back and forth arguing here.
Grove is being desecrated.
Right. At this point, the best thing you can do against chat is just chat against it.
So yeah, Persuade says, are you planning on mining that at 50? He says, I'm building. Now you are. So calls J33 a jackass, I guess. Can't recall exactly why that. But yeah, Hugas goes 80, and Persuade has been 50, and Persuade has been 80 all this time. He charms a Druid of the Talon there. It's funny. But yeah, I mean, Hugas went 50 to try to catch up in gold. And Persuade was like, oh hell no, and decided to make war with him again. Looks like Lightweight goes Hugas, because he also noticed that he was 50. And he does not want... Nobody wants them to go to 50.
Right, especially on a map with so little gold.
Yeah. Mining at 50 on a tiny-ass map like this with players that keep hawk eyes on foods like Persuade and Lightweight especially, it's really just not an option. I mean, maybe you can, but who guesses it getting into a really rough position here. And Persuade is breaking 80. Killing him off would be the right move here, I think. Lightweight's just saying, J33, we can't fight because I can't fight any of them. They have charm. He's trying to convince J33 not to hit him because of charm, which, as we saw instantly after, did not work. Tanks or dryads. Hippogriffs. Yeah, Blizzard is super powerful against bears. Looks like Persuade's doing some long distance mining. Why do the peasants... This is funny. Just to note, if you're ever long distance mining late game, the peasants go from the gold mine that they're mining to the closest physical distance Great Hall. So these peons literally just walk right by the main hall here, which I find funny. I noticed that when I was playing human in a custom game a little while ago. That I had to like physically tell them where to go.
I think it's the last hall you built, although
Really?
I'm not sure. It might, yeah, I think that's what it is.
Oh really? I didn't know that. I just know that they
Because,
were constantly going to an incredibly far away one.
yeah,
Um,
which is very annoying.
yeah, that is pretty annoying. Silly orcs and humans. J33, I have 1 hour time to play this. What does he want them to know about? What is that chat trying to accomplish?
Uh, Sorry for playing like an idiot, but I just want to get it over with. That's all I can get out of it.
Why would you tell people that you only have an hour if you... I mean, if it's true, you're telling them that you're most likely going to fight them and do something irrational and make the game not go the way it should be, so they may as well attack you now and get you over with. Or, if you're lying, you want them to fight... I can't really see a good situation for that chat.
Right.
Wait, does immediately hit him afterwards. I'm not sure if it's as a result or not, but he loses both his heroes here, and that's not good for him. He finally built griffins. Guys, stop everything.
Okay. Merci.
Mass TP. So Persuade comes in to save. You know what? You fucking suicide me. Now you make me do everything to see me, and you know I'm low gold, blah blah blah. J33. Lightweight's doing some heavy chat in because J33 has been convincing them that he's winning, which he sort of has been, but not quite as bad as he could have. But now he has mass teleport, and that's the number one thing that yeah. So Persuade saved J33 because he doesn't want to get teamed.
Right. And G33 used the best manip against any human player, just saying mass teleport.
Yep.
Instantly, that gets a human team.
And instantly that gets the human to attack you because he does not want them to team him.
Yeah.
And
but at this point, he was fighting him anyway, so.
Yeah. So J33 is going to die with 4k in the bank because... Yay, tanks. Yep. And Persuade, sitting at 100 with no mines. Who guessed, sitting at 58 with no mines and no gold. And this mine is just sitting here. So it looks like they're about ready to go. Let's see what Lightweight's gold count is. It's pretty low. He's hunting down J33. Let's get some more good chat here. What do we got? What do we got? Lightweight sitting at 84. I guess he's probably going to try to hide that last 2k gold. Spend some on critters. Yeah. J33 is just talking about whatever. Who guess says, I think Lightweight is coming for me. And Persuade says, you can mass TP us. It looks like these two are both on the same wavelength of Lightweight is strong. How do you interpret that?
As for who guess, it's probably is, yeah, Lightweight, by the way, I know you're coming to me, so change direction. But also just saying, let's team the human.
Yep.
Persuade saying the same thing, yes, let's kill the human.
Yep. Lightweight says, sure, I take you out both same time. What do you think that chat means? I think it means, yeah, he's being like sarcastic, like, sure, I'm strong enough to do that, you idiots.
Right.
Yeah. Not sure how effective it is. Persuade offers flat out to go against Lightweight with Who Guess. He says, I'm afraid to leave my main, but I can come with heroes. That's okay. I'm not stronger than you guys. Persuade's like, no, you're heroes. He's like, level-wise and gold-wise. Who Guess is like, I didn't mind my natural. What are you talking about? I'm not strong. Ah. And J33 is expanding here, I guess.
Right, so again, I'm weak talk.
Yep.
With, I agree we should kill the human, but you should do it.
Save Wisp or suicide with my 3 food. 2 food, I lied. Persuade's still at 100. With alright heroes. It's got 643, I think. Yeah. And there's 644 on Lightweight. That's funny. A little bit of sitting here.
We're under attack.
This is like pseudo fighting. I want to see your army. So Persuade's trying to see what he's got. He probably doesn't know. He says, I have 60 limit. What are we talking about? Blah, blah, blah. He just, who guess is in an awful position here. He has nothing to do but use the chat to try to make them fight. Which they're not at this point. Give me a breaker. J33 getting his heroes back so that he can do God knows what.
Fresh, cool air.
Who guess? You realize that you have higher levels than me. 654 is higher than 644. It says your level's more dangerous, which is true. I think human heroes can fight armies by themselves. Night Elf heroes cannot do that.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
Who guess
Our
is saying it looks
warriors
like you
have
killed
engaged the
J33. Persuade decides to attack GM. He won't blow bats when you have Moonwells. Persuade's he's convincing him. I'm harassing both, by the way. Which I think he is. So.
Right, that's
some
one of the
intelligent
things I
chat there.
hate. Persuade is trying to say, don't hate me because I'm just moving the game along by hitting you both. But in my opinion, when someone tells me that, I don't care because he's still hitting me. So I will fight back anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the player, in my opinion, I think, just because a lot of times somebody will be like, well, somebody might feel like, well, blah, 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 I'm getting hit here, but I think that it's okay because my other more fearsome opponent is being hurt as well. So maybe I'll be okay with it. But a lot of players are just like you. They're like, I don't want to get hit. So if you hit me,
Right.
I'm going to be unhappy with you. So Persuade is testing his luck.
He's
Just
also saying, I'm not suiciding you. I'm not
yeah,
focusing just on you.
exactly. He wants, so even if it still pisses them off, he's making them aware that his goal is not to kill them.
Right.
Like, ugh, wow, it's boring. Bored.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
There's really not too much chat going on here. I'm not sure if it's worth finishing it out here. Pretty sure GM just disconnects
Our
in a minute
sacred
here.
grove is being desecrated.
After
Yeah.
Persuade harasses them both, and then he just wins versus Lightweight.
Most of the chat is just, I'm weak. So,
Yep. So really no new chat to see here. For anybody that's interested, GM disconnects, and then Persuade has a 100 food army versus Lightweight's 100-ish food. But Persuade ends up winning the 1v1. So that's what happens. Let's go to the next one. We have F11. I love this game. There's lots of good chat. Lots of good chat in this game. This was a good one. I'm sad that we're not going to get to go all the way through because the ending was really exciting. Wan ended up winning this game. And, but yeah, let's
Ready
get
to
started here.
work.
I'm going to 8x for a minute.
Ready to work. Ready to work. Ready to job done. Done. Job done. Build more done. Ready for action. Ready to work. Ready
So
to
nothing
work.
major yet. They agree on clockwise pretty quickly.
Ready for action. Job done. Ready to work. Ready to work. Ready Job to done. Work. Ready Job done.
This is mine. I don't care. So we have initial chat here. Wan's decided, I don't give a crap about your clockwise crap. I'm going to fight you for the expansion.
right.
Assert his dominance, not sure.
Or he simply didn't understand what they were talking about and did not care.
Yep. I don't know if there's necessarily a point to that chat or not, but we can move on.
Ready to work. Job's done. Forces are under attack.
They do end up fighting over this for a while.
Job done. Upgrade. Job done. Job done. Job done. Upgrade. Job done.
Let's see humans
Upgrade complete.
get to do whatever.
Job done. Job done. Job done.
Sexy's going MK Paladin.
Our town
It's
is
always very interesting.
Job done.
Human Star gets a panda.
Upgrade complete.
So another interesting thing.
Research.
A Sexy says go the other way
Research complete.
to fail.
Complete. Job's done.
I just don't play to your rules. It's funny. You're exposed the other side. I come to another. I just don't play by your rules. I'm not stupid if you want to take it. Both expos and say clockwise. Yeah, fail is just sort of. I'm not really understanding this chat. I'm not sure if there's a huge purpose to it, but
Yeah, I think it's just chatting, answering Lightweight as to why he is attacking him.
yeah, fail. Wen
Our forces
takes
are
his
under attack.
Island Expo before he takes the other one, which is amusing. So, Sexy uses the chat that he basically always does. I've seen a lot of chat, and I do it, and a lot of players do it. I shouldn't just say him. When he gets hit, right after he's in a crappy position, he says, "I'm already fighting somebody else. Come on, don't go away."
Right.
It's sort of a desperation move because he knows he can't beat this right after losing a bunch of food and gold to the other player. And he's food blocked, so yeah, desperation chat. Everybody does it. He cries dead a little bit before it's too late, which is also wise. Then he starts taunting Fail, which may have just be frustration. But yeah, he goes into Human Star's main to try and make him TP, which works, but then Fail comes in and finishes him off. So, yeah, Sexy's chat was sort of last resort chat, and it ended up not working. Thoughts?
Well, at this point, he was dead if he did not chat. He tried to save himself. Did not work, but it didn't hurt him.
Yeah, there is no downside to what he did.
Right.
Job's done.
He tries to get back in, but Fail says no. No way. 2v1 is nice. A little complaining, but what are you gonna do? This red is fucking imba. So, Human Star, what does he want everyone to think from saying this the red player is imba?
I'm weak talk, and he's trying to get one to know that red is the strongest player. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, Humi has 1300 and 532 to Fail's 2k with 431. And Wan's 432 with a little less gold. So, I don't know. I think it's just, I killed Sexy, but don't team me because I didn't get much out of it.
Right.
More typical, more just regular chat, nothing really to say. The undeads are fighting, because why not, I guess. A critter!
Research complete.
It is Human Star's critter, too.
Yeah.
Sexy is just chatting to tell him I want all my buildings to be killed so that I can watch.
Research complete. Job's done. Job's done.
Says good luck. You should attack Wan. You were on 3 expos. Some argument here. Let's see if it's the correct thing. Yeah, Fail. In this position, Fail is food blocked with little gold and not a full army. Wan has been fighting him, is at 80 with a little bit of gold. And Humi has 1, soon to be 2. I think he takes this. 1, 2, 3 lines. Yeah. I mean, I think that when you get to a 3-way, I want to pick your brain about this. I think when you get to a 3-way, there is a position where if you're the weakest, you can try to convince the strongest to attack the second strongest, or you can try to convince the second strongest to go to the strongest with you. The problem with the first is that the strongest might just go, and the strongest probably should go. Well, screw that. I'll just let them kill each other, and then I'll have my free win. And the problem with the second one is if the second strongest doesn't agree, the first strongest is like, well, he's manipulating against me. Let me just kick him out. So it's always risky. Chat is always risky when you're the weakest, as I think Fail is. And I think that there are a couple places where he uses chat
Our town is under attack.
in a backwards, not the most effective way. Let's look at it when we get there.
Right.
Let's see,
Our
he has
forces are
just
under
one
attack.
mine now.
Summoning is complete.
Humi has
Research complete.
2.6. So when offers Fail peace, Humi's on 2 expo. They'd been warring all this time. Fail laughs at him. Human Star counter manips. But his manips are, his statements are true. There's a high, almost 6 level Archmage, and Humi does have more expansions.
Right. At this point, I'm guessing Teal realizes
Our forces are
Pink's
under
gonna win,
attack.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we have to start our one-on-one.
Yep.
Stop our one-on-one.
Yeah. I mean, Humi's clearly in a good position here with how many expansions you have. Wan just sort of takes the lead and starts hitting him. Fail says, I'm going to sit back and try to mine some here.
Our forces
Which
are
is
under
fine as the
attack.
weakest. Let the strongest and second strongest fight.
Right.
Says, did you fight him, Fail? And then Fail says a little after he ran in, killed 3 peasants, and then TP'd. So some clever chat there. Which Humi doesn't try to counter. Easy nuking. Nothing I can do. What is he saying here?
That he can't fight against undead, so that will tell Fel I need to kill Juan because Yumi is not going to be able to do it by himself. And also, I'm going to be able to kill Yumi because he doesn't know how to deal against nuking. Well,
Interesting.
he has a DR, so I guess he won't be able to nuke as well, but
Right.
still,
Yeah, it's
I'm weak, help me.
yeah, very interesting. I hadn't considered that it could have dual meaning there. But you know, it's obviously I'm losing. Don't team me. Help with Wan or Juan, whatever. People yell at me for saying Wan. Um,
Juan,
and
okay.
yeah, apparently it's Juan. I've been told. And but yeah, the whole he sucks at fighting human. You know, come to think of it, or if he sucks at fighting undead, you know, playing weak against a particular race is not necessarily a bad idea. Um, I've noticed that, you know, like sometimes I'll leave a player who I think would have a harder time fighting against my army alive, and try to team the one that, you know, and try to keep him around, if I think I
Right,
have a good chance at winning fights versus him.
definitely.
Juan and him are just sort of counter manipulating, trying to convince Fail what to do, and Fail's just like, I just want to mine. I have bad macro, leave me alone.
Summoning is complete.
Humi and Juan are fighting. Tanks versus buildings, it's super effective.
Our forces are under attack.
Fail wants to get a thing. So, here you go. Fail is, by the way, sitting on 3 mines. So, in this chat indicates to me that Juan wants Humi to fight against Fail.
Right,
I'm not really sure there's much more to it, and if it's the most effective way. He's at 80. He's at under 80 food with only 2,500 left. Humi has 1K and is at 100, and Fail is at 80 with 2,500. So, I mean, it seems logical. Trying to convince Humi to stop attacking him because he's running low on gold. It doesn't
right.
work right away.
And anyway, he noticed that Fel is not helping him. So we might as well man up against him then.
Exactly. That's correct. That's true. So he uses a lot more chat, and I think he eventually does convince Humi to stop hitting him.
Summoning is complete.
And he gets this expansion in the bottom right here that he keeps lying about all game, which I thought was very funny, because they never scouted it. Stop lying, okay? Your island.
Upgrade complete.
Blah, blah, blah. So Humi does go Fail. And he calls out 6 a.m. Oh no!
Our forces are under attack.
And now Juan is right back on Humi. Says he's got 3 expands again.
Summoning.
He's like, no, I have 1. He's not mining from this one because he is at 100. Humi's like, oh crap, I have a 6 a.m. Let's see if we can get Juan to not attack me. Let's go on red. See if it works.
Our forces are under attack.
Horde. He's trying to convince him that he's not hoarding. Which he wasn't. But he should be now. Yep, and he goes 50 here.
Our town is under attack.
And Humi comes and attacks him. Like you should.
Forces are
Always
under
attack
attack.
somebody who goes 50.
Our gold mine is nearly empty.
Yeah.
Almost always. A lot of chat here. I'm trying to pick out the important stuff.
Our forces are under attack.
Life, don't! I'm attacking him. Good. Go in his main. Yeah. It's interesting that it worked. You know, Juan was trying to accomplish telling Fail not to attack him because he was in the middle of fighting the human player, which is in Fail's best interest. A lot of times when you're just like, no, don't hit me, people are like, well, whatever.
Why?
Why? I'm just gonna hit you anyway. But it worked.
Right.
So that was sort of an interesting chat that usually doesn't always work, but somehow did this time. So kudos to Juan. He calls out for help because he's on him. Comes in and helps him. Juan's base gets assaulted.
Our forces are under attack.
Need to find a balance, as both of you are stronger. So Fail's playing the
Our town is under
weakest
attack.
card while staying at 50. But now he gets based. So staying at 50 was not all that wise. So yeah, they're just going to team the human here for a while,
Forces are under attack.
which is logical enough.
Right.
You got my main. Most of it is just sort of self-explanatory chat here.
Our forces are under
Let's see if
attack.
there's anything else I can think of we need to talk to about this game. Nope. There's really no more chat. The teaming decisions are correct. From here on out, we see Humi tries to 2v1 them for a while, and then when Fail's gold advantage kicks in, they go against Fail, and Juan stabs Humi and takes the win. So, yep. We can probably get out of this game now. Some interesting chat there. A lot of "I'm weak" or "Don't hit this guy." Subtitles. Stop trolling, Persuade. Lastly, Dark Flame Master, Ashalar, Mog Skynet, and Svedrico. What the hell happens in this game again? Oh yeah, DFM wins. That's right. Da 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 da. Let's see if there's any good chat.
Your building is complete. Your building is
Cylindrical.
complete.
So they talk about clock versus counter.
Our
As
warriors
most people
have
always do.
engaged the enemy.
It's nice that they always agree.
Your building is
All four. I mean, not all four games they agree, but they at least mentioned the idea of clock versus counter.
Upgrade
Right.
finished.
Some interesting diversions, but in this one, I think everything just sort of goes off without a hitch in terms of expanding.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
I can't tell time. Oh yeah, he kills Fedricos.
your building.
I can't tell time. I'm playing like Gears,
Upgrade
which I
finished.
found hilarious, but whatever. So Fail is fighting Svedrico.
Research finished.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
Guard the land.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Everybody takes their own island, I think. DFM takes it first, obviously.
Your building is complete.
What
Research
interesting
your
chat is
building
there?
is
It's coming up.
Research your building is complete. Research your building is complete. Research finished.
Oh yeah.
Research your building is
I think DFM did kill this. Didn't DFM creep this? He did, and then he's like, "Who killed my expansion?" And he's like, "I assumed it's Ash, Ash, because he wants to fight you."
your building is
That's pretty funny.
Right.
research
It's
finished.
hiding that he did it and
Research finished.
It's
trying
always risky to lie.
read war.
I find that it's always risky to tell lies because if you get caught in your lie, people stop listening to your chat.
Right.
Stop believing your chat.
Research
Great
finished.
winds I come.
It's Svedrico is playing weak. My worst game till now.
Research
He's under 50, but he's losing badly to the Orc. And this doesn't go especially well for him either. Yeah, it was pretty bad TP there, but Svedrico dies. DFM offers peace to Mog. I mean, that's just the Orc is winning. Stop, I guess.
Right.
DFM is at 700 gold with 2 expansions. And Mog is at 62 food with... He has to put this one back up. So Mog had been losing, so it's in his best interest. And Darkflame Master's at a full 80, and his gold is increasing. So especially good chat from Darkflame Master now, because if he takes the tension off him, he can get... You know, he won some fights. He got some experience off of killing Mog's stuff. And now he's making Mog not his enemy and 2v1ing. Let Mog use all his gold to fight. You know, and now he's going to do, I believe, if I recall correctly, he's going to do the whole... I'm helping, but I'm not really helping all that much. Let you use all your gold to kill this guy, and I'll just like be nearby, making it look like I'm helping.
Right.
But he has to main Mog first. I forgot about that part. I guess he's thinking maybe I can force a 1v1 versus the Orc.
Research
I
complete.
don't remember exactly what was happening here. Needed EXP from you because DFM toming me. Mog's playing dead. But he is under 50 and he's mining 2 mines. So I think that's really good chat from Mog here. Saying that he dies. Saying that he's dead. You know, while he's at
Right.
50. He has a chance to mine. And then DFM says, ah, Ash wins. So to me that sounds like DFM is saying, oh, I made a mistake. I totally didn't realize that the Orc was strong. Sorry, Mog, I need your help. Like, sort of like a pseudo-apology. What do you think of this?
Right.
Because maybe it was like he really wanted to just weaken Mog and not let him have all his gold, and then now he wants him on his side. Or maybe he really didn't notice. But we'll see if it works. Doesn't seem like it. So it looks like Mog's not buying it at first.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
Sorry for accident suicide, Mog. I don't blame you. Seemed like a good choice. Everybody's so nice in this game. All the nice players are in this game.
Your building is complete. Your
Svedrico
building
is chatting about one thing or another.
Research finished. Your building is complete.
Here's the 4th
Your
mine.
building is complete.
Yeah, I mean the Orc does have a lot of gold. But
Our
DFM has
warriors
gold
have
too.
engaged the enemy.
And he's fighting some good fights here.
Our town is
Making Ash use all his gold on bats.
my call.
Now's your chance. He still has 3 expo. So Dark Flame Master, I really like this chat. He came in, he killed a bunch of units, got experience, lost a fair amount, but weakened the Orc, got experience off the units, and then asks Mog to come in and kill the buildings, which do not yield experience. Says, now your chance, go attack the Orc. I can't remember if it works. Let's see. He stays 50. But green comes in. Any help or free win for Mast Expo? So yeah, just lots of heavy go Orc from Dark Flame Master, which is sensible enough. And he's 50. And totally nobody's catching on. And this chat is completely working. Thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, he just had a big battle trying to convince everyone that he's active, but hoarding.
Yeah.
So.
And just all this, why can't I see your gold mine? He's doing a lot of
Our
like
gold mine has
not
collapsed.
not accusatory chat that's not like I'm the enemy, you know, that's not, you know, I'm your enemy, but just sort of like, well, what's going on with him? What's going on with him? Nobody's paying attention to me. He mined all of his gold at 50 and then built an army and nobody ever noticed.
Right.
So, really solid play. I feel like Rob Stark. 0 fights lost, but I will still lose. Playing weak still. Um, yeah. I mean,
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Ash is fighting at 80 while still mining
Heed my call.
from one mine. 80 the whole game.
Work complete.
Kills
Our
off
town is
green
under
stuff.
attack.
But so yeah, Dark Flame Masters chat finally worked, and Mog agrees to fight Mr. Bat. So yeah, everything sort of goes according to plan. And Dark Flame Master, after he finally pumped, finishing draining his mind, decides to finish Svedrico. How do you feel about this decision? I want to hear your take, because I have a pretty good idea of what I think it is, but give me your take on finishing Svedrico here.
I'm gonna take a guess and say he doesn't want him feeding the other player and or chatting for the rest of the game, because a Night Elf player just barely alive can still usually scout the whole map.
Mm-hmm.
So just removing someone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he has 2,500 gold and he has no army. But 2,500 gold can make a few chims. And,
Yeah.
you know, you can get his heroes back and he can make some units. So I think that at this point, DFM, now that Mog and Ash are fighting, DFM says, okay, if they fight, I have a pretty good chance of winning. But if they realize that I still have gold, which I don't think they do, but if they realize they'll have gold and turn on me, this extra, it's a lot easier to 2v1 than it is to 3v1, or
Right.
1v2 than it is to 1v3. So, that combined with Svedrico's chat and scouting, all that together, I think makes this a really wise move. I know he meant to talk. I want you to stop leaving and feeding, so exactly sort of what you were saying. I don't want to get anything. He just wants to eliminate his buildings. He gets some very minor experience. He gets a level off his keeper there. Svedrico's hiding for whatever reason. And Mog and the Orc are fighting. Mog has a lot of gold here, but he commits a lot.
Right. At the same time, by having Green talk about the fight, he's saying, I'm being active, so you two can keep on fighting.
Yep, that's true. Perfect. Yeah, you're right. Hadn't thought about that. Still active. Keep fighting. Yeah, a lot of food loss there for both players. Mog still has gold, but he's using it quickly. I mean, bat fights, you have to be careful when you're fighting Orc versus Elf. Because bat fights just drain both players' gold really quickly. So if you don't notice that DFM has gold, as they don't,
Our warriors have engaged.
yeah, he comes in and takes his opportunity to try and kill the Orc and force the 1v1 when he has a good chance of winning now that Mog has no gold. Stop me if I say something you disagree with, but I think that when fighting Elf versus Orc in a three-way, you just have to be super careful. You blow all your bats, you have no food. They have no food. The third player comes in and does exactly what DFM does here and just cleans house.
Right. Unless you have some monster heroes, which
Yeah,
Orc can get after batting a lot.
that's true. We know how Renaud feels about bats. He's not fond.
Hate them.
Mog goes 100.
Our
DFM lost
sacred
some,
grove is
but
being
pumps just in
devastated.
time.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
TPs after the Orc has basically nothing. And then it just comes down to this fight with 2,500 for DFM to Mog's 1,600, not even 100. Yep, they just didn't know. I just saved you. He knows he'll clean me up. Yeah, the Orc hits him by mistake. And then eventually I think they agree to go DFM, but it's the point of no return.
Right.
Yeah. But Mog used chat there. We're talking about chat, Alex. Right, Kiki, pay attention here. He said, why'd you go to me? I just saved you. Point of that chat, we could probably safely agree is, we need to go DFM, right?
Right. I'm your friend.
And I think it does work because it becomes apparent that DFM's winning
Mhm.
momentarily. But yeah, DFM has gold.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
He mined out this last gold here while he was fighting. There's a mine here, but
Our
doesn't really matter
sacred
much.
grove is being desecrated.
So he goes 100 and wins this fight. And
Our champion has fallen. Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
yeah, that's sort of how it went. York tries to help, but too strong. So we had some good games, had some good discussions on chat. Any final thoughts you want to summarize on your opinion of chat?
99% of the time, the chat was simply,
Your
I am
building
weak,
is complete.
he is strong, attack him.
Mm-hmm. We
Then
didn't
there's
see
just different way of saying that.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of the mass lies to frustrate and confuse people. Most of the players in the league right now seem to have a good handle on who's strongest and why. Um, so the chat was sort of relatively tame this round, and relatively effective. We didn't have too many just like wild left curve chats that we shut up, Persuade. You know that I'm looking at the chat. Um, wild left curve chat, instances where we were like, what are they thinking saying that? Or, can't believe somebody fell for that. So, um, it's a difficult subject to approach because so many people have such strong opinions on chat. But what it really comes down to, I would recommend for all players, especially myself, is when you're thinking about typing something, ask yourself two questions. What do I want to accomplish? And is it going to work? Is it going to be effective? One of the pitfalls that I fall into a lot is when people do something that is against my best interest and is not in their best interest either. It frustrates me. And so I'm quick to go, why are you being such an idiot? And, use a very aggressive chat that if I thought it through and said, what I want is them to stop doing that, is it going to work? Is calling them an idiot going to entice them to stop doing what they're doing? Um, and the answer is generally no. So, um,
Right, but
take a
sometimes it
deep
is.
breath, think about what you want, and is what I'm saying gonna accomplish that? Um,
Right.
and if the chat's not gonna help at all, then don't chat at all. So this round was a pretty stellar example of how to use chat, and you know, watch these players. Most of the players in the league, right, with the exception of basically nobody, maybe like Gears hasn't really used chat effectively, but almost everybody in the league right now uses chat effectively, correctly, and there wasn't really much else to say. So, thank you for joining me, Renaud, and helping us with discussing the wondrous topic of chat and joining. Anything else you want to add before we sign off?
Team York.
Well said. All right, everybody. I'll see you next time. Have a good
Bye.
afternoon/evening.